situated here. Let's see here. Will it work the first time? No, never does. YouTube. Let's try again. Come on, YouTube. I'm waiting. Okay, we're gonna do this a different way. I don't know why this is so difficult most days, but it is. It says I'm live. There we go. Oh my goodness. All right. I'm home, as you can see. So, yeah. Different day, same YouTube that does whatever it wants. So, all right. I didn't know what you're going to see in the background. My window is very bright, even though the sun is not out. But when I shut the curtain, it makes it really dark and creepy in here. So I'm just going to leave it open. I'm home, so the dogs might bark, and I can't control them because they're dogs. So we'll see. It's nice out. It's like 60-some degrees, so the back door is open. So hopefully if they decide to get themselves mad about something, they'll just run outside. We'll see. So... And can I get rid of the glare on my glasses? No. All right. So, good morning, everybody. I have, what do I have? I have a new video, 2 new videos, the new pattern, a couple of things to go over, reminder of some dates coming up because April is almost halfway over, which is bonkers. I took a quick little trip to St. Louis and we have a virtual retreat this weekend, starting today. Crazy, crazy. So, let's start first with this. I said, Linda, it's raining. It is raining here. I think it's still raining. I'm not even really sure. It's one of those just like miserable, gloomy, drizzly days out. Even the dogs aren't feeling it. Like they're both just like laying here. Actually, there's something else I wanted to start with because I made the sound that I always make. I posted on my Instagram and Facebook story on Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday, just saying, you know, I just wasn't having like a fantastic day. I wasn't having a bad day. Like nothing's wrong. I was just having like a meh kind of day. And I just, you know, put it out there. And when I say things like that, I don't say things because I want sympathy and I want everyone to be like, oh, poor thing, what's the matter? I'm not one of those people. I don't do those weird bait things on Facebook where I'm like, I'm having a bad day. I don't want to talk about it. I was just saying, I just wasn't motivated. I was just having kind of just a mediocre day. Out of 10, it was like a 4. It wasn't anything to write home about. But I just said it so that everybody else knew. And a lot of you said, I'm having kind of one of those days too, or I'm not feeling motivated. And so many of you, and you know who you are, and I've seen some of your names already pop up on here today. You texted me and you messaged me and you emailed me and you said all these nice things to me, and you're my people. I just want you to know that. I wasn't depressed. I wasn't feeling any sort of way. I was just not feeling anything. I don't know if you can relate to that. If you ever have one of those days where you're like, I'm not sad, but I'm not happy. I'm in the middle. And so many of you reached out and said such nice things to me and complimented my face without makeup and, you know, just really nice things. And you definitely made me, you made my day go from like a 4 to like a solid 7. So thank you. Thank you to all of you. But I promise you, there's nothing wrong with me, more than what's normally wrong with me. I was just not having a happy day, you know? And I don't know if the rest of you feel this way, but you start out in the morning and you're like, okay, here's my list of things. I want to do all these things today. I want to get all this stuff done today. This is what I'm going to accomplish. And then something comes in and just like snatches your motivation and you don't get those things done. And I had a list. I had so many things that I was like, this is the day. I'm ready. And I did like one thing on that list and I was like, I just want to leave. I just want to go home and cuddle with my dog. And so I did, and she's right here. She's sleeping right now, but she is an A++ cuddler, and this dog knows when you need cuddles. Like she always wants cuddles. She is a kissy, huggy, cuddly, snuggly dog. Roxy is who I'm talking about, the brown one. The black one, not so much. We do things on Zoe's terms when it comes to her. But Roxy's always up for a snuggle. But when she knows that you need like the extra care, the lengths this dog will go to just to like get in your personal space and like lick your face and snuggle with you. She should be a therapy dog, but she also needs therapy herself. So that's where we're at. She's an emotional support companion, but she also needs her own emotional support companion, and sometimes that is me. So she did what I needed, and so did the rest of you. So thank you, and thanks, Rox. She's still sleeping, but maybe she'll make an appearance at some point. Mary, yeah, my to-do list is never gonna get to done. It just keeps going and going and going and going. And some of that is my fault because I add things to the to-do list. But a lot of that is just I'm one person and I can't do everything, and I want to do everything, and I convince myself that when I make a change, like if this happens, that'll make me more motivated. And sometimes it works, but sometimes it just doesn't. So, trying to figure out how to make myself more productive is something I've spent almost 44 years doing, and I'm still not good at it. So oh, you're going to Lauren's, you're taking Nova's class. Oh, I'm jealous. I had such a great time seeing Lauren. So I'm glad that a lot of you can relate. And yes, Michelle said, I miss having a dog. I don't know who I was talking to about this the other day. It might have been my mom. I honestly don't remember who I was talking to. And it probably wasn't my mother. My mom hasn't had a dog in a while. But I can't imagine not having a pet. Like, not going home. Oh, it was my nail girl. That's who it was. She has a giant bunny rabbit. But I can't imagine going home and not having a pet and just being quiet and alone. And I mean, yes, I have Eric, but I don't know. I don't know how my mom does not have an animal. Like, her and my stepfather haven't had an animal in so long. It's weird to me. But anyway, we're going off on many tangents. I'm going to check out Cindy's question because I see question, and then we're going to talk. So let's see here. Have you ever used your serger when making your bags? I assume this is a general question because Jessica doesn't have a serger. I was watching a serger show and they used it on cork. Well, you piqued my interest for sure, Cindy. Let me edit that comment. I own a serger. I haven't seen it in many years. Over a decade. I adamant, I have to get a serger. I need to have one. And it wasn't for making clothing. I was quilting at the time. But Alex Anderson was talking about using a serger on her quilt show, and I was like, I want one. I have used it twice. I haven't used it since then. I've never used it in bag making. Because since I started making bags, I don't know where the serger is. It's probably upstairs somewhere in a closet, but that's about it. So if the rest of you can answer Cindy, go right ahead, because obviously I can't. So anyway, all right. So last weekend's plans changed so many times between the time we actually made the plans and got there. So our original plan, I was sitting here one night and I said to Eric, I was already surprising Nicole in New Orleans. And I said, I want to surprise Lauren. I want to go to her open sewing, and she's still got some spots open, and I could work on anything I want. And I want to sew on the industrials because I just want to be more comfortable on them for my own class. Not that I need to know how to do them, but it's nice to have some basic information and, winding a bobbin and doing all that kind of stuff. And I hadn't used one since December. So Eric and I were talking. We had a whole plan. We were going to go out together, stay the whole weekend. We were bringing the dogs and everything. Well, the plan changed because then, I said to him at some point, are you sure you want to go? Because it's just going to be a lot of driving for you and take up a lot of your time. And maybe I can try and do something else, doing something else while I'm out there. And then that changed. And then Nicole and I were talking about her possibly coming with me, and then she couldn't come. The plan was not solidified until 2 days before we left, when Eric decided to take Friday off from work, drive all the way through on Friday. We didn't get there until 9 o'clock. I took my class at Lauren's, surprised her. She had no idea I was coming. It was fabulous. I got so many hugs. When you are around Lauren, you get so many hugs, and then you don't get any hugs. Maybe that's why I was bummed out on Tuesday. And then we left on Sunday, just so that he didn't have to take extra days off. So I didn't have a lot of time there, but I accomplished this. I posted a picture of it. So I wanted to do this when I was in New Orleans because I wanted to get March Court Club into a bag. And this is the Alice, and you can use the pieces you got from Court Club. You have more than enough to make this bag, including the handle. But I didn't get it done when I was in Louisiana. I got it done when I was in Illinois. And well, it's done. It's done just in time for April Court Club to ship, because that's my life. So I did an Alice. I guess you could say it's modified because I didn't do the fabric liner behind here. Like there's usually a piece of fabric right here. I didn't do that. What you're seeing is the lining. I skipped the back pocket, and the inside is just waterproof canvas. I just wanted to check the settings on the industrial, kind of get comfortable with like 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, all that kind of stuff before my class, which is 2 weeks. Beth, confirm. Is it in 2 weeks or 3 weeks? It's getting close. It's the first weekend of May, however far away that is, which is not that far away. So that was what I got done. Speaking of that, somebody just asked a question, and I saw it. Teresa wants to know, are you getting closer to getting an industrial? No, not necessarily. I don't really have, I don't have a yes or no for that. I don't desire to have an industrial, at least not right now. Beth, 20 days. Beth's on it. She's got it. Thank you. I don't feel this overwhelming need to have an industrial. There's other things in my life that I'm like, I need to have that. I don't feel that about an industrial. I enjoy sewing on it. I love that it's fast and powerful, and I can go through all these layers and I can do all these really cool things. But for me, and this is, I say this now, and my mind changes and circumstances change and whatever. Me today, right now, buying an industrial seems foolish because, first of all, it's a space thing. I do have space at the studio, but we are running out of space because we get more product. I need more shelves right now. My studio itself where I film is super crazy and packed. I don't technically have a lot of space to put it. And if I start doing that, it's going to shift my videos in a different way. I also don't sell bags. So if I was selling bags, I would probably be more apt to want an industrial. If I wanted to do videos on that, and as of today, April 12th, I don't. Will I in the future? I don't know. I can't really answer that. So I don't know that I'm getting closer to it, but I also don't, it's not really on my to-do list right now. What's probably going to happen is at some point in the future, I will just break down and I will just go, I'm just buying one right now. And it'll probably happen like that. I tend to do things like that without as much thought. I just decide one day that I want it and I get it. It's the way I did it with my HD9. Like, I wasn't going to buy an HD9. I wasn't looking for one. I tried it out for 30 seconds and I was like, I like this machine, I want to buy it. So maybe, I don't know. But it's a great question, and it's also a great transition into talking about what we have new for this week, which are the videos. And so when it comes to doing my videos and my patterns, all of my patterns, every one of them is written for a domestic machine. And we've had this conversation before. A lot of bags, not just mine, but any bags, can be made to work on a domestic the same way they can be made to work on an industrial. It's about material choice. So you could take any of my bags up until, I guess, all of them. I would say the one, and I don't want to say exception, but the one where it might get a little thick is Julia, the last pattern that I released that has the zipper flaps, only because that can get a little bit thick in those seams. But other than that, it's a matter of adjusting things. So I do my videos using either a domestic or my HD9, My HD9 is a heavy duty machine. It is by no means an industrial. It's just a stronger, powerful straight stitch machine. Some people call them semi-industrials. I just call it a heavy duty because literally that's what the HD stands for. If I got an industrial machine at some point in the future, I would want to make videos on it, but I would still try to gear everything towards what I already have. So I know that was a lot of rambling to answer a question, but just so you know the mindset that I'm in. I remember talking to Cheryl Taylor a while back, and she very much desired to have an industrial machine. I don't feel that way. And she sells her bags, and she works with leathers and different things other than cork, and she works with like different things. So her feeling and mine are different, and I think it's really cool that like everybody that's getting industrials, but it's not high on my priority list. That was a really long answer. I'm not really one for abbreviation, so sorry. If you're new here, you don't get one-word answers. Mary wants to know where I bought my HD9 from. That's a fantastic question, and I would love to give you an answer. I bought it at Quilt Festival, my first one. Keep in mind, I have had 3. I bought my first one at Quilt Festival in 2019 from whatever Janome dealer was there out of Texas, Conroe? I forget. Out of Texas. They are a big dealer that comes to Houston every year. I feel like they were out of Conroe or something with a C. I don't know for sure. I don't remember the name of the company. I just bought the machine and took it home with me. The other machines that I bought, because I'm in upstate New York, I bought them through, oh my goodness, Bobinage, which is in Brooklyn. Because I work with Janome, I kind of bought them through Janome, but I bought them from Bobinage because I don't have dealers in my area that I care to support, and I will not elaborate on that. I'm allowed to feel how I feel. So I bought it from a Janome dealer, just no one in particular really. One was at a show and one was because I already had it and I wanted them for my classroom. So I would recommend, no matter what machine you buy, that if you can buy it from a dealer locally, to do that first, because then you have someone to service it. If that is not in the cards for you, or if you yourself or your spouse or whoever lives with you, your child, whatever, is handy mechanically, you can clean and service your HD9 pretty easily on your own. Eric does mine for me. Eric's a mechanic, so anything that has a motor, he's good with. But if I had a good Janome dealer that I cared about in this area, I would definitely take it to them. I have one that services my domestic, but I don't need my HD9 serviced. So Eric does a really good job. He uses all of his little tools and his oil, and he does what needs to happen. So let's see here. Vicky, I'm glad you said that you have the HD 3000, because somebody else wanted to was looking at buying one and was just looking for some information, and that is a machine I haven't sewn on. So Vicky, I don't know if you're in our Facebook group or not, or if you're on Facebook, but if you are, if you look up, there was a post, somebody was asking about that. If you haven't already, if you want to put your 2 cents in, I'm sure she'd love to hear, because I don't know, I've never sewn on that machine, so I don't know how well it handles all the thickness. Let's see here. Okay. So, all right, you guys are talking about sergers, so I'm going to move on. So, I'm very excited, very, very excited, because you guys got 2 videos this morning. So, a lot of you, many of you, who have been with me for any amount of time definitely don't need the first video, which is on the Taurus tote bag. I'm going to take this out of the clear thing because it's kind of shiny. So, the new cover and the revised Taurus tote bag pattern is on the website. I mentioned it in the video many times. Want to make sure everyone heard it, that if you need a revised copy of this and you already own it, all you have to do is email me. I am not requesting that you buy another one. I just need you to email me, and don't go through the contact form because you can't attach things to it. Send me an email to either the email that's on the website or my email. They're both on there. And just say, hey, here's a picture of mine, or here's my receipt, or here's something that proves that I have this pattern. Can you email me the updated copy? And I will absolutely do that. Thank you, Beth. I'm very, very happy. So one of the reasons I redid this pattern is because the cover was driving me crazy, because all of my covers have this band. They have this color band on the bottom with the barcode and my logo. The original Taurus tote bag didn't have that. And I know it's minor, but it was making me crazy because when I see them all hanging up, it drives me nuts and I don't like it. I have to move my leg. Okay, so that was one of the things. The other thing is that the font was old. It was an old font that I use in the pattern, and it was small, and I like my fonts bigger, and I wanted to just kind of clean it up a little bit, and there were 2 small changes I wanted to add to it. And if you have made any of my bag patterns, any of them at all, you definitely already know this information. If you've made a Taurus tote, you're good to go, but I wanted to update it anyway, and so again, I'm happy to send you an updated copy if you just show me that you have it. When I wrote this pattern in 2011, that's how long ago it was. This was my first year of pattern writing. When I wrote it, I assembled my bags differently. I assembled them so that they were really, really long. So your lining and your outside was sewn together. You would have a set, a lining and an outside and another lining and outside, and you'd put them together. Then you'd box your corners and then you'd turn the whole thing together. Well, now in more recent years, we make an outside, we make a lining, we put them together, and then we finish them. I wanted to revise the Taurus tote bag to have that more updated assembly directions, because I don't make my bags that way anymore. The only exception is the all-around tote because of the divider. So either way is right. Either way gets you to the end result, but I just wanted to update it because it was just one of those things that I was like, we don't have to do it this way. Let's change it. The other thing is that right here on the back, it tells you what you need for your outside bottom fabric, and it also gives you the size of cork that you would need. Because remember, in 2011, there was no cork. I'm sure cork existed somewhere in the world, but we didn't have it. So I wanted to just add that on for the bottom, because that's probably the one place that everybody adds cork to a Taurus tote bag. And it's such an easy thing to do, but you know, I didn't have it on there. So the revised pattern, if you have an old copy, you're genuinely not missing anything. If you have already made one with cork on the bottom, or if you've updated how you finish it, or if you like finishing it the way the pattern does, you're not missing out on anything. I didn't change anything and make it a totally different pattern. But again, I'm totally happy to send you a revised copy. So just send me an email, show me that you have it. That's all. Unfortunately, my website doesn't have a way for you to do that on your own. I know a lot of websites, once you update a pattern, you can just go re-download it. My website is barbaric in that way. It doesn't have that. So that's number one. Because I wanted to revamp the pattern, I also did a video. And again, this video is probably not something for all of you, for a lot of you, because a lot of you I don't consider beginner bag makers anymore. If you've made a Taurus tote bag, you don't need me to show you how to make one. You're welcome to watch the video. I mean, that's why it's there. But I wanted to really gear this video towards beginners. This pattern has 8 pieces. Top, bottom, lining, handles. That's it. We talk about all of that in the video. We talk about what does it mean when I say boxing corners, a turnstile bag. What does birthing mean? What kind of interfacing should I use? I went through more than I normally do. My normal tutorials, and I saw a few of your comments saying how much you like my videos. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. So you know that most of my videos are just step 1 to the end. I give you a few tips here and there, but I'm really just going over the pattern. The Taurus tote bag is super geared towards beginners because it's going to talk about everything so that if you've never made a bag before, you have the resource to do that. So if you don't need the video, but somebody in your life is like, I wish I could make a bag, and you don't want to teach them or have the time to, that's a great video for them to watch. And I said that I wasn't going to do that video because there was already a video out there by Stephanie Sebbing from Quilt Addicts Anonymous. So why did I change my mind now? Why did I decide now to do the video? Well, two reasons. If I'm going to do the add-on video, which that's going to be next, we're going to talk about that next. I wanted to have the base video so you'd have something to refer back to in case you needed it. But also, Stephanie is kind of reworking her business and changing some things and doing some things differently. I don't know, even if she wasn't changing, I don't know if she's going to stay in that focus of, you know, doing tutorials on bags. So what if someday that video is not there? You never know. So I just thought, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and do it myself. Then I know it's done, check it off the list, and I'm satisfied. And I wanted to do it in my style. Stephanie does a great job. A lot of people do great jobs in their videos. We all have different styles though, so I wanted to do my version of it. Let me answer some questions and then we will jump back in. Do any of your patterns have a welted slip pocket? Not at the time, Kelly, but I like that idea. So maybe that is something that needs to be added in. Fun fact, or just trivial information, however you look at it. When I write new patterns, I try to do something different, whether it's the style of bag, a different piece of hardware, a different technique, whatever it is, even if it's something minor. And I've never done a welted slip pocket, so maybe that needs to be incorporated into my next pattern. I like that idea a lot. Let's see. Excuse me. Shelly, my videos are the best and I can hardly watch any other tutorials anymore. You're gonna make me blush. Thank you. I will never discourage any of you from watching everyone's videos, but I will also never not like comments like that. That's very sweet. I enjoy teaching. So, and clearly I enjoy talking. Let's see here. Thank you for checking both videos out, Michelle. I appreciate that. And Vicky, I love your patterns. Thank you. Yes, and Zena, I did not forget about you. Zena got her HD9 based off of my reviews and loves it. But Zena had asked me about the roller foot, and I haven't had a chance to look for it because I've been a little crazy the past couple of weeks. I told you I was going to go ahead and order one, but before I do, I think I do have one. I'm fairly certain that it was part of like the package deal when I got my original HD9. Hopefully this weekend I will look for, I think I might know where it is. But if I don't have it, I will get it and I will play with it. And at some point when after I played with it, we will have a conversation about using the roller foot. So for right now, I have no information, but Zena, I did not forget about you. Vicky, Vicky made the Sammy wallet and uses it all the time. I want to make myself another Sammy wallet because I love all my wallet patterns and I do use my own patterns, but I use that Sammy wallet for close to a year, and I think it's my favorite. Like, I don't know, it's hard to say. Right now I'm using Poppy. I really love Poppy, but I do love the Sammy, and I find it very convenient when you don't want to carry a whole purse. And lately I've been carrying a purse again. I go in waves. Sometimes I'm like Sydney ID wallet, nothing else. Then I'm carrying a full purse and I have a tote bag. I'm all over the place. Okay, so original Taurus tote bag. We're good with that. In this video, if you didn't watch it, I did everything as per the pattern. I didn't do anything fancy. The handles are the regular handles. I use cotton. I actually made this one right here. I used a lightweight denim, which is essentially maybe not even. It's not even as heavy as the canvas. I did all cotton. I kept it super simple. I did everything that the pattern says. So in that video, the tips and tricks that you would pick up are really not on anything new with the pattern, except I did show you how to use double-sided tape. I never know which is right. Instead of pins to put your handles on, but that's about it. So if that video is too basic for you and it's not quite what you need, then this might be the video for you. Let me take this one out. Teresa wants to know if there is a Teflon foot that also has side guides like a compensating foot. Are you saying for the HD9? Because I have compensating feet for my HD9. Are you asking for a regular domestic? Because that's something that we have all been struggling to find. I'm not sure what kind of machine you're looking for, but I have Teflon feet that are compensating. So I don't have anything that has like a side guide. I think I have like a solid Teflon foot and then compensating. Okay, so you want, I got you. So you want something different than the compensating. Okay. I haven't seen anything. So I have a flat regular Teflon foot that doesn't do anything fancy. There's no guides or anything. And I have two compensating Teflon feet, 1/8 inch and 1/4 inch. It's the mailman, honey. Let it go. Okay. Let's see here. You want me to do a tutorial? Oh, on the roller foot, I'm on it already, Cindy. I just have to either find it or buy it, and then give me time to play with it, and I will do a tutorial on it. Shush, shush, shush. Okay, so next up, stop. And then she keeps going. Next up is the add-on. So before we talk about the video, and I'll show you my samples again, I want to talk about how these two work together. Okay? So right now on the website, on the top of the patterns page, I moved the Taurus tote bag up. You're going to see the Taurus tote bag, this one right here. You're going to see the Taurus tote bag pattern add-on, and then you're going to see a combo deal. Please do not buy the combo deal if you already have this. You do not need to buy the combo. That is for someone that has never bought the Taurus tote bag pattern. I know that seems obvious, but sometimes, you know, we get excited and we click the wrong thing. When it comes to digital things, I can't refund you. So I cannot undo what you've already done. And I don't like sending those emails. I don't like having to be disappointing, but I have to be fair to myself. Once you purchase a pattern, I can't refund you for it. So if you own this pattern, or if you send me an email to get the revised copy of this, this is the one that you would buy. This one is $8. The combo deal is if you've never purchased either one of them. All right, so the Taurus tote bag add-on pattern has 8 different add-ons, and I'm gonna show you what they all are. I go through them in the video completely, all the way through. And I also, because I made my bag sample in the video with every single add-on, I also screwed it up. I think I told you guys this a couple weeks ago. I cut my pieces wrong and I just let it go. I didn't care. I was like, it's totally fine. I just, you know, what are you gonna do? Sometimes you mess up and I didn't want to start over and waste product. There's also a bonus little baby Taurus tote in there, and it's the cutest thing ever. So I'm going to show you those samples in 1 second. Cindy likes my paper patterns. Absolutely. You are always welcome to have a paper pattern. You still have to purchase it as a PDF. I don't have them listed separately. So you can purchase the PDF and add a note. And please don't send a separate email because it gets kind of confusing. Just put it in the notes, which is like at the very last section of checkout. Just put in there to please send a paper copy. If you're ordering other products, just say please send a paper copy and I'm also placing another order. Not a problem. These will be ready to ship, paper copies, in a couple weeks because I am leaving for Cleveland on Tuesday. So these are not ready to ship out just yet. But if you want a paper copy, that's not an issue. Let me see here. And I wanted to answer this. Can we buy the combo for someone else? Absolutely. You are absolutely welcome to purchase a pattern for someone else. What I would suggest is putting their information in the shipping information. That way it comes up with them and their email address. If you're ordering it because you want paper copies shipped or you want a surprise, you know, just make sure that's in the shipping information and you can still put your email address. And just, again, request the paper copies. Whatever's easier for you. I'm pretty flexible. As long as we are both on the same page and no one's yelling at me, I'm good. I'm happy to accommodate. Okay, so I showed you these already, but I'm gonna show you again because it's fun. Why not? I haven't sewn this much in quite a while and it was very exciting to actually get a lot of stuff done. So, Taurus tote bag add-on sample number 1. And some of these aren't perfect as well, nothing I do is perfect. Some of these are not exactly as they are in the pattern because things change as they're getting edited. So this is in no particular order. I just grabbed this one. These were the February Court Club. This was the Mosaic Diamonds and the Navy and Gold. It has the adjustable handle and I used a couple rivets. I did my pockets on either side and I made them straight. So those are all additions. You might notice here, this handle's a little bit wider than the original pattern. I did a wider 1.25" handle instead of an inch handle. It's a tri-fold handle, so the pattern is going to show you how to do it as a tri-fold. I wanted to include things that you didn't already have. If you want to do this out of fabric, you're going to refer back to your original pattern. These pieces right here, which are part of the original pattern, those sizes are not going to be given. There is not an overlap with the patterns where you would only need to buy one. I didn't want you to buy this and be basically buying the same pattern again. They work with each other, they're companion patterns, so you're going to need, you don't need both. If you don't want to do any of these things, you don't. But you would need them to work together. So you would need your original pattern to do the add-ons. There is a cork chart to show you how to cut everything out of cork. I did cork for my top strips up here, even though I didn't put a recessed zipper in here. It's got divided pockets, and then it has the zippered pocket, which this is a little bit different than the final version, just slightly, but we've got a little hanging zippered pocket. So that is that one. And, oh, let me get this one. This is the January Cork Club. So here's another version. This one I did tons of rivets. I did scoop pockets on both sides. And there is a template in the pattern to give you the little scoop. I did a little piping on this one just for fun. Another adjustable handle. On the inside, I did no pockets because I didn't want to. But I did a recessed zipper with the cork on the top. I love putting the cork on the top. I think it gives it a really nice structure. And it just looks nice from this angle. I have my little zipper end. And where is it? My key fob, my little key hook right here. All right. And I'm just realizing this. I'm not carrying one of these right now, but in hindsight, I would put my key fob on this side. I'll show you what I mean. This is where my zipper opens. If my key fob was here, it would be easier for me to grab my keys out of my bag. But because I was just throwing a sample together and not thinking, it's over here. It still works just fine. And maybe my keys aren't hanging on there. Maybe there's something else. But just food for thought. I think I would like it if I was carrying this with the key fob on the open side. So just a little thought for you. Sorry, rocks. Would you be able to make a luggage sleeve from the outside pocket area? That is a great question. I'm just thinking, I don't know if it's going to be wide enough. I don't know if it's going to be wide enough to go over a suitcase. You might want to check your suitcase handle, and you might have to place these handles a little further apart, which you could totally do. I'm just trying to think. That's a really fun idea. I wanted to work on one of these at the virtual retreat, so maybe I will play around with that idea. I really like that idea. I have my suitcase nearby because I'm leaving again. I will grab it and see. Obviously, all suitcases are going to vary a little bit, but let me see if it would work and if I have to make changes. And I will try to do that this weekend and I'll post that. I love that idea. I love that you guys are always thinking. So, okay, so this is the first complete sample. And you see how long the handles are? These handles are not full with the cork, but they're the regular size on the bag, on the original bag. Here is the shortened version. So the reason I did the shorter version is because this goes over the shoulder. But if I'm using this, I didn't think I needed that. So just so you can kind of get an idea, and you can make it however you want. That's the great thing. The add-on pattern, there's 8 options, but you can pick any amount that you want to. If there's 3 of them that you love, put that on your bag. There's definitely, it's a really unique way for you to, I kind of choose your own adventure. Like, do whatever it is that you want to do. If you look at this and you're like, I will never use an inside pocket, I like it plain, then don't. Or I don't want the adjustable handle, that's not me. Don't add it. None of these are mandatory. You don't have to do the whole thing out of cork. I just did for all my samples. So this was one that I did in the virtual retreat back in January or February. It was a long time ago. There is a scoop pocket and a straight pocket and lots of rivets and lots of cork, hanging pocket, divided pocket. I think this one is my favorite and I might carry this, but I haven't decided yet. Because unfortunately, the one that I made that I wanted to carry is the one that I messed up the cutting on, and it's too small for me. It's too small for what I want to use it for. Because, as Karen wants to know, will it fit a laptop? It would if I didn't mess this one up, yes. Because my everyday back and forth to work bag is a Taurus tote bag. My laptop, this is my laptop. It's massive. Like it's the MacBook Pro. It's gigantic, and I put it in a sleeve because I'm very protective of it. So it does fit in a Taurus tote bag, but your computer's probably not as gigantic. If this computer wasn't so big, I could probably carry this cute little version that I did. This was my oops, but I left it. I cut my tops and bottoms, the different sizes. The bottoms were right. The tops were too small. They were 2 inches too small. And I'm realizing now why. Bye, Cheryl. I'm realizing why now. I have a cutting mat that has 2 numbers. It has right and left reading numbers. The right and the left number are the same, ironically, the same numbers of the sizes of these pieces. And when I was rolling out my cork, I saw the wrong number and cut it. And then I cut the bottom the correct size. So this is adorable, but it's not the right size. And if I was to make this 2 inches smaller in the future, I would not make the corners the same size as the original pattern, because to me, it looks awkwardly skinny at the bottom. Like, I don't know. It's fine, but I don't love it. I think the corners, if they were like an inch, maybe smaller, like the squares, I think I would like it better. But I kept on going because whatever, it is what it is. It's still a really pretty bag, and it has rainbow thread on it. So there's that. So this one has all cork outside. That's one of your add-ons. Scoop pocket, straight pocket, wider handles, rivets, adjustable handle, recessed zipper. Oh, I did it right on this one. Little key fob wallet hook, divided pockets over here that still have friction pen on them because I didn't iron it, and hanging zippered pocket. So every add-on, this is in the video. In the video, I also talked about water resistant canvas. This is from Mormino. It is not the waterproof canvas that I typically use. I had it and I wanted to try it out. I like it in the tote bag, but I like it better in a smaller bag because I didn't interface anything. So I liked it better in the smaller bags because I like the waterproof canvas with that rubbery backing. I like the structure of it. And last but not least, let me see here. That would be great. Can you have it done by May 1st? I have a Europe trip at the end of May. Well, geez, Linda. I mean, if I'm productive during this retreat, yes, you'll have an answer soon. It all depends on how this retreat goes. Sometimes I get tons of stuff done and sometimes I don't. Oh, Teresa. Teresa said, by the way, I just want to say to anyone who hasn't done one of the virtual retreats that they are really great. The group of people is great and Jessica is amazing. Thank you, Teresa. Teresa and I definitely have a mutual understanding of, I guess, our shared awkwardness, right? Right, Teresa? I think that's good. We're not good in social situations outside of our homes. And so we kind of, we bonded on, like, it's, because when you go to a group of people, whether it's like the 3-dimensional people out there or on a screen and you don't know anybody, it's like, I don't know what I'm doing. And, you know, and I think we all can be a little like, you know, I don't know what to do with myself here. And coming into a group that has known each other, that has been hanging out with each other. Our core group has been doing this since the first day. Shelly comes to every single retreat. She never misses one. Most of the core group rarely misses a retreat. We've been doing this since June of 2021. This is our third year. So we've become very friendly with each other. We know each other's like backstories, our spouses' names, like kids' names, pets' names. We know everybody so well that it can be weird and intimidating for somebody new to come in. But I assure you, and Teresa, I did not ask her to say that, we're not that group, because I've dealt with that group before. That group of, unfortunately, I'm sorry, women that are kind of cliquey and catty and don't want to let anybody else into their little inner circle. And we're like, absolutely not. Come in. We want you here. We love when someone joins the virtual retreat and stays. Over the 3 years, we've had people in and out. We've had people that have come once or twice. We've had people that have come maybe once or twice a year. We had somebody come one single time and never come back. And I never know what the reason is. And I always want to assume, good morning, Fran. I always want to assume that the virtual aspect was just not for them. I always want to hope in my heart that it was not something our group did to offend them. And dealing with this group for so long, I really don't think that it is. I just think that this is not for everybody. Sometimes you come into it and you're like, I don't think I want to sit and listen to conversations and be on a computer the whole time. It's not for everybody. But I love going to in-person retreats. I mean, there's nothing better than listening to everyone's machines and the snacks and hanging out and doing all that. But that's also a lot of pressure to not forget things and to, have all this, you have to bring all your stuff there. And what if there's weather? And what if I forget something? And what if it's far away? It's a lot. So the virtuals are just fun because I literally sit right there. That's my sewing machine. I sit in my living room the whole weekend. We laugh, we tell stories. Sometimes they're not even about sewing. A lot of times they're not. We talked about ghosts not that long ago. Cheryl asked if anyone had ghost stories. Like, we just talk about random things and, and we gossip sometimes, and nothing crazy or catty or weird. And we just kind of do stuff and we ask each other's opinions. And last virtual retreat, they got the dimensions for this little guy, which is the little mini tote, which is in the add-on pattern. Why? Because I wanted to give it to them. They get goodie bags. Sometimes the goodie bags have a theme. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's just a present, and presents are fun. Who doesn't want a present? And we bounce ideas off each other. We talk about, all sorts of different things. And it's just nice to have somebody there so that you're not sewing by yourself. Because a lot of us sew alone all the time. And that's fun too, but it's kind of nice to just, to have somebody to ask a question or just to have somebody there so you just don't feel like you're all by yourself. Our pets make appearances every time. Sometimes the husbands do. Mine will usually show up at some point. He does live here. So, yes. Oh, that's right, Anne. You did come to one. You loved it. Your life won't accommodate committing to anything. Listen, I understand. I 100% understand. So, oh, Karen, thank you. Janelle, late is fine. We're all still here. We're still here doing nothing. So it's totally fine. So let's see. Okay. Yes, Shelly does have perfect attendance. So last but not least, we went off on our virtual retreat tangent, but let's look at this little guy. So this is a little bonus. It just is measurements, cork sizes, and like what size corners and how to place your handles. But it's just a little bonus tote that's in the end of the add-on pattern. It's a great little lunch bag, knitting bag. Debbie made one for a knitting bag out of the knitting cork, which was super cute. It's great if you have kids and they want a little something. Yes, I did put the raisin colored piping on here. It's great for books. I definitely want to use this as a lunch bag because I did put the water resistant canvas inside. This is also from Mormino. I just thought it was just a cute little size. Christy made one and is using it as a purse because it is a good purse size too. So, you know, lots of fun things in the add-on pattern. Let me see here. That is a good question. So Linda wants to know, how do you deal with the noises of the machines? So here's the thing about Zoom. If you're not as familiar or haven't done a lot with Zoom, Zoom does pick up on noises, but it also focuses, like it'll pick up on like one person more than anyone else. So if somebody is talking, it tends to like almost block out the background noise. It's not as noisy as you would think. There are moments where we all get quiet because we're kind of just like done talking and we're just gonna sit and sew for a little bit before somebody has a question or you know, something to say. And I hear the machines, but it's not that loud. I do also have the mute button, and I never do it with malice. It's never intentional, but I don't want to hear your personal conversations any more than you want us to accidentally hear them. So if your spouse or kid or someone comes into the room and starts talking, I will mute you just so that if something, because sometimes you forget that people can hear you, or your husband comes in and starts talking about something personal and forgets that like there's a microphone on, because you get used to the fact that there's a device and you kind of forget that it's there. I will just mute you. If your machine for whatever reason is super, super loud, which it really doesn't happen often, I will mute you. And a lot of people mute themselves while they're sewing, and then they can hear the conversations better. So I would say we really don't have an issue with that. I have not had like, oh wow, the machines are so loud no one can hear me. Zoom has a thing with the microphone where it really picks up on whoever's talking. I also spotlight people, and I think that helps. So if you're like, hey, I just finished something, I will spotlight you, and then everybody can hear you. And then what also happens is, as people are talking, the microphone won't switch the screen on you. It'll just stay on that person. So that seems to work out pretty well for us. We don't seem to have an issue with that. Let's see here. Yes, Eric can't spell. Eric's weakness in life. He can fix anything, but he can't spell anything. And Eric didn't know how to spell Shelly. So he spelled it chili, and now she is Chili in all of my contacts, and I call her Chili during the entire retreat. I only call her Shelly here because you guys don't know that she's Chili. Let's see here. But Beth already left. I forgot to say goodbye to her, but she will see us later. And Shelly, yeah, you don't notice the machines that much. What I notice is that when we're all not talking, you'll hear like a very faint, like the whirring sound of the machine, but it's not loud at all. Virtual retreats, Linda, I'm going backwards now. Linda asked, where can I find out more about virtual retreats? They have their own page on the website. We have five more for the year. I think June, August, September, October, November, something like that. They're right on the virtual retreats page. You just sign up right there. You get a goodie bag. Hopefully you get a goodie bag before the retreat. Sometimes because of my schedule, they come late. And then I send, an email out that has login information, what to expect, because I just like to make sure that everyone's expectations are met. It's not a class. We don't work on anything together. I'm not there to give my sole attention to one single person. I can answer questions about patterns I don't know, but I can give opinions. Everybody has opinions. Sometimes people have worked on things. You are not obligated to make bags. You're not obligated to work on my patterns. Shelly, during one of the retreats, was doing hand embroidery. It doesn't matter. You can work on anything that you want. It's your retreat. If you don't know how to use Zoom, if you haven't used it before, I might suggest figuring that out ahead of time, because I'm not an expert. If you're having an issue with sound or video or anything like that, it's not always something I can help with. So definitely make sure that you're at least comfortable enough logging in and unmuting yourself and turning your video on. Other than that, you don't really have to know anything. But the email will give you all of that information, like, here's your login, your password, all that kind of stuff, and just what to expect. And you get coupon codes. There's a code that will go throughout the retreat, and then you'll also have one for later on, like a little bonus code in case you want to order something later. If you are a Patreon, or if you have ever considered joining Patreon, the 2 higher tier Patreon groups do get some free retreats, not all of them, but they do get some free ones. So it's one of the extra bonuses for Patreon. That's a whole other thing, but just throwing it out there. And Cindy, how often do we do retreats? This year we had the most. We have 8 total. Most years we average 6 to 7. I try to do them every 6 to 8 weeks ish. But this year, because I'm trying to force myself to be home more and to not get into traveling extensively like I was in the past, I thought if we have virtuals, I have to be home for them. So, and it's a nice way for me to be able to sew, because this is something my mom and I were talking about yesterday. My mom was down this week helping me get ready for the show because she's going with me. And I was talking about how it's so funny that people that don't fully understand what I do for a living, they're like, oh, that's so fun, you get to sew all day long. And I'm like, literally, sewing is at the bottom of the list of things that I get to do, except during a virtual. It's the only thing that I'm there to do. Sometimes I'm just not as motivated. There have been a couple virtual retreats, especially when Eric and I were having our year from hell, that I sat on my couch and painted during a whole retreat. I'm still here. I just wasn't in a sewing mood. But most of the time I do enjoy sitting and sewing, because it's the most time I actually get to spend with my sewing machine. So Shelly is spicy, 100%. She's spicy chili. And let's see. Did I get everything? Aloha to Donalyn. I'm still jealous that you get to live in Hawaii. I hope the weather is beautiful. I'm sure it is. And I think that's it. I have plans for the weekend, but I don't have anything cut, so that's next on my list. Does anyone have questions about the new videos or the new pattern or the combo pack or anything? I talked about a lot of stuff and I talk fast. Does anyone have any questions? Quick recap while you're thinking, in case you have some questions, and then we're gonna end it. I just sent out a newsletter this morning. I also linked it on Facebook. It's also, a lot of the information's on the website. We have a busy, upcoming month or so. On Tuesday, my mom and I are heading to Cleveland. We are doing the original Sewing and Quilt Expo. That is at the IX Center in Cleveland. It's actually right at the airport. I will be there. If you are in that area, please come over and visit. We just packed up a bunch of cork. I made some kits. I threw together some templates. We've got like a whole bunch of stuff. We are vending. I am not teaching. So that is next weekend. It's the 18th through the 20th. The week after that is my spring open house, which is an in-person event at my studio. The address is in the newsletter and on the website. That is Saturday and Sunday. It is the 28th and 29th, I believe. It's the last weekend of April, Saturday and Sunday. You can come by and shop. You can have snacks, say hello, hang out, whatever you want to do. The weekend after that, May 4th and 5th, I will be at Sew Whatever Studio, which is located at the Mormino headquarters in Belleville, Illinois, which is just outside of St. Louis. I am teaching the Julia and the Poppy Wallet on the industrial machines. You don't have to do anything except show up, because I am prepping and cutting all your kits. Lauren has everything in the studio that you can imagine needing, so just show up. There's probably nothing that you're going to really need. Maybe your emotional support scissors that you can't live without. Maybe a cup for your water. I mean, really, your clothes and whatever basics you need. Directly following that, Tuesday and Wednesday of that week, the 7th and 8th, I'm going to Paducah. I'm going to English Sew and Back, and I'm teaching the same classes and the medium boxy pouch there. And then I will be home, and then I will be visiting my sister and taking a little personal time at some point. That's it. We got a lot of stuff, like bang, 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 one weekend after another. So hopefully we'll see you at some of those things, if not all of them. How fun would that be? And I'm sure we will be here next Friday. Not here. We'll probably be at the studio. And if you make anything, tag me, join the group. give it a thumbs up, like the page, all that stuff. I think that's everything. Everyone's just saying have a good weekend, so I assume you have no questions. So I am going to say goodbye because I only have a few hours to get ready for the retreat and I have nothing cut. So I'm going to go do that. If you need me, you know where to find me. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you guys next week. All right?